Video number 231, using fractions in word problems. How much extra wood in feet will you have if you purchase an 8-foot long 2x4 to cover one doorway entrance of 3 5/8 feet in width, is what it should say. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, one of the first things we're going to want to do here, obviously, is for any word problem, most of the time you want to sketch what's happening. So you just kind of sketch your doorway. And you just label it 3 5/8, and then we just draw above it. We have this piece of wood that's 8 feet wide. So therefore, how much extra do you have? Well, that would be this part right here. So obviously, this is a subtraction problem, as we can see that we're going to subtract 8 minus 3 5/8, or we're going to take 3 5/8 from 8. Okay. So therefore, 8 minus 3 5/8. Now, in this problem, you could use the mental math. We did that in the last video. We just go ahead and take 8 minus 3 is definitely 5, and then you're dipping into the 4s. How far? You're dipping 5/8 into the 4, so therefore you're down to 3/8. Otherwise, you could do this. You can call this 8. Obviously, 7 and 8/8 is equivalent to 8. So you can just take 8 minus 3 5/8. So therefore, you do 7 minus 3 is 4, 8 minus 5 is 3. You're all done. Next one. How much extra wood in feet will you have if you purchase an 8-foot long 2x4 to cover 2 doorway entrances? So this time, instead of 1 doorway, we have 2. So if we were to go back to our picture, if you were to draw at least a new one, you would have 2 doorways. They're both 3 5/8. So obviously we're going to do 8 minus each of those. So 8 minus 2 of those. So 8 minus 2 times 3 5/8. Then we're going to change 3 5/8 to 3 plus 5/8. Then we have, well, 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 5/8 is 10/8. All right, now you can review all this in the previous problems, the previous videos. But basically, we're going to double the 3 5/8, okay, then subtract that from 8. So therefore, we end up with 8 minus 6 and 10/8. Now, 10/8 is nothing more than 7 and 2/8, right? Because you have an extra set of 8. So we have a set of 8, 8 out of 8. Therefore, that brings the 6 up to a 7, because we have another whole number. And we have 2 extra, so it's 7 and 2/8. We just convert that down to 7 and 1/8 upon simplifying. Therefore, when you take 7 1/4 away from 8, you're dipping into the below 1. Obviously, the separation is less than 1. See, remember, subtraction is nothing more than separation. How far apart are those two numbers, right? So therefore, the distance between 8 and 7 1/4 is going to be 3/4 of a foot. Which, of course, 3/4 of a foot means 3/4 times a foot. So 3/4 times 12 inches is definitely 9 inches. So we only have 9 inches of wood left over. Next one. How many miles per gallon does your car get if you can travel 200 miles on an 8 3/4 gallon tank of gasoline? Well, miles per gallon means that you'll divide miles divided by gallons. That's what that means. So therefore, we're going to take 200 divided by, all right, miles per gallon means miles divided by gallons. 200 divided by 8 3/4. So then we just convert the 8 3/4 to the improper fraction. We have 200 divided by 35/4. Then 200 times 4 35ths to give us 800 over 35. Then we reduce that, because I divided both numerator and denominator by 5 to give us 200 over 7. And now that gives us 200 divided by 7 is 28. So then, well, 28 with remainder of 4, because you end up landing on 196. If you did the long division, you'll see. And then, of course, 28 and 4/7 miles per gallon, which is approximately, that's the symbol, approximately 28.5 gallons. So there you have it. So there's a couple examples of some word problems using fractions.